ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a gentle breeze out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour and temps near 81. Tonight we will have clear skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be cool at 66. Sunny tomorrow and a high 81 with a gentle breeze. Mostly sunshine Wednesday with a temp of 82. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Time for new tires? Nobody knows your Toyota better. And this month, when you buy 3 tires, you get the 4th for just $1. Schedule your service online or give us a call at Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires October 31st. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Time for new tires? Nobody knows your Toyota better. And this month, when you buy 3 tires, you get the 4th for just $1. Schedule your service online or give us a call at Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires October 31st. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down at T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
24-month bill credits and eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits, and credits stop and balance on required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
the Inside Drive. From college to the pros, interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
And good Monday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida 104.3 here in Panama City and Panama City Beach 101.9 in Port St. Joe. You can watch, like, listen, comment, subscribe, share, follow, all those wonderful things. That is Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can also follow us on Twitter if you want as well, but we stream live every day on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. All you gotta do is search up ESPN Northwest Florida. You can even go back and watch it after the fact if you want. You can also download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. That one, all you gotta do is search 104.3. You'll find it right there on the first page of the search results. And of course, as always, and a new little feature that Lucid Streams TV is doing for all of our loyal listeners out there. If you head over to ESPNPC.com, scroll down a little bit, you'll see that TV channel icon. Click on that. That is Lucid Streams. They're doing a free 3-day trial right now if you sign up. And of course, as we always say, if you use code ESPN-NW, it's going to be about $40 a month. You would have been able to see the UFC fights this past weekend, all the NFL games, NHL games, Major League Baseball's on the local channels, which also are included there on Lucid Streams, in addition to over 2,000 channels. Do yourself a favor, save some money, sign up for Lucid Streams. Just head over to ESPNPC.com. Good luck to all the teams competing in the district tournament for golf this morning. I think it's this morning. I want to say it just started about 11 o'clock. But good luck to our normal co-host, Jay Henley, and the Arnold Marlins, as well as the Mosley Dolphins and all the other teams competing in the district championship with a shot at the regionals on the line. Both teams and individuals can make it. I believe if your team, I think it's top 2 or 3 that move on to the regionals, maybe even before. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if Jay would know if he was here anyway. So, but and then also I think if your team doesn't make it, it's the top next 4 lowest individual scores that will head to regionals, which I believe he said was around the Lake City area, if I am not mistaken. But man, what a wild football weekend!
Yes, it was.
As it seems like it is every weekend, just gets a little bit crazier. But I'll get to the poll question after we talk about this. But let's go ahead and for those who, if you don't know, I don't know where you've got your head buried in the sand like an ostrich. But if you did not see or hear, we're going to play the clip from the Washington Commanders local radio broadcast of the game-ending Hail Mary play that transpired yesterday in the Washington Commanders Bears football game.
They bring 3. Daniels backing up. He's just going to have to let one fly. Goes to the right side. Steps away from the defenders. Gives himself some time. Now steps up, fires. Heads towards the end zone.
Know what they're saying. They're just so excited. It's kind of like a radio or a play-by-play caller's dream in that one, for your home team especially. Any situation that's ever been like that for you, David?
I'm just enjoying this right now.
So good. So good.
I would say that I have not had a situation where the home team is winning on a Hail Mary. We've had a situation where Leon won on a Hail Mary. Last year, middle of the season. Last year against Niceville, when they went, they scored Jack Massey down the middle of the field, then they go for 2. So, there's been situations where it's hard to keep your composure, if you will, and you just feel like a big fan. Yeah, exactly.
Because when you're the home team radio broadcasters, you are a home team. You like that team. There's a reason why you're doing that.
Yeah. So. Sometimes we get people saying, "Oh, you guys are biased." Like, well,
yeah, we are. We're paid by that team to do it. So the bias is real, no doubt about it.
It'll be up on Venmo, and I'll back the bias down a little bit.
The bias can be bought. The bias can be bought, no doubt about that. But yeah, what a wild ending in that game. I want to break that down a little bit as well. Obviously, the Hail Mary was one thing, but there's certainly a lot of layers to peel back on that game-winning Hail Mary play, no doubt about it. My first layer in that is the play before the Hail Mary. Not really sure why the Bears defense, you see it all the time late in games, and Eberflus is a defensive football coach. The play before the Hail Mary play, they're not lined up protecting the boundaries, right? They only had about 7-8 seconds left in the game. They run a quick kind of a 13, ended up being a 13-yard catch out route to the near boundary, which obviously got them into Hail Mary range. Why on earth was the Bears defense not guarding the boundary? You see it all the time in the end of the game where you have your corners lined up by the boundaries. Your safeties are by the boundaries. You give up the middle of the field because they can't stop the clock. They had no timeouts at the point. So there's mistake number one. The second crazy part of this whole situation, which a lot of people obviously didn't notice when it actually happened because the camera really didn't show it. And that's, of course, Stevenson, Tyreek Stevenson is over there kind of talking to Bears fans, maybe taunting the Commanders fans. The play is happening, and he's not even paying attention. I just don't get that at all. Why you're, I don't know. It's a situation that you don't expect the Hail Mary to ever work, but you're the guy over there kind of not paying attention to the play. The ball was literally snapped, and he's not facing the offense and the play going on. Just wild stuff there. And there's a lot more kind of angles coming out now on Twitter and social media where you see people that recorded videos, of course, because everybody was recording with their phones during that final play of the game. But and then for Tyreek Stevenson to then be the one that tips the ball to go.
He went over there and tried to make a play.
God, but these are NFL players. These are NFL coaches. Hail Mary situations, everybody's supposed to have a job, right? Somebody's supposed to be the one trying to knock the ball down. Somebody's supposed to be the one behind the pile or the scrum, whatever you want to call it, in case the ball does get tipped, so you can either knock it down, intercept it, whatever. And you're supposed to have guys boxing out other guys. This isn't high school football. This isn't some lower level of football. This is the NFL. And there was just, the coaching job by the Chicago Bears in this situation, in my opinion, was absolutely atrocious given what all transpired, not just from the Hail Mary play, but from the play previous to that as well. I don't know, David, what are your thoughts on what transpired?
Happy
Well,
because
of course happy.
no, I think a guy's getting a little bit too riled up with the crowd at that point in time, and it should be the opposite. The crowd gets riled up with you, and you just focus on your job and do your job. And then he goes over there and gets a hand on the ball, and that was great. But yeah, you should have some guys back there in the end zone, actually in the end zone, to knock that ball down. I really wanted to see Jaden Daniels win this matchup. So for me, it was one of those situations where, honestly, I'll tell you like this. So I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm looking at apps, and I see the score go away. Essentially, it's 15-12.
Yep.
Chicago up, and there's no time left on the clock. So I'm like, oh, I guess the Bears won this game. And then I'm watching because I'm on a little bit of a delay because I'm watching on a streaming service. And next thing you know, boom. It's touchdown Commanders, and you're just like, wow, this is awesome. A great start for the career of Jaden Daniels, and a rivalry here is kind of...
Yeah, it was 1 versus 2 picks in the draft.
Formulating here between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams, again, I mean, first 3 quarters, I think he had, less than 30 yards passing?
Yeah.
Very impressive for him to have the fourth quarter that he did, but you got to hate that. You drive down, you do your job.
You do everything you can as an offensive individual.
At least at the end of the game. Yeah. And this is what happens from it. And it's one of those things that just show you the differences in franchises. Mm-hmm. And that is an issue.
Yeah. No doubt.
But I mean, can we say coaching? Because you know that the coaches have said, you know what I mean? They've never been like, hey, make sure that you're drawing with the fans back and forth.
Well, not even put that aside. The actual defensive strategy on that, hey, and Eberflus said some really stupid things in the press conferences afterwards, but basically, we practiced that play probably 100 times. Well, if you practice it 100 times, where's the disconnect with what happened on the field this past Sunday?
How often is the offense winning out of those 100 times?
I would say probably that was the one time, maybe, and that was the one that counted.
And that's the beauty of football, though, because all of us who were watching that is just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. Like, imagine being a Bears fan, which we know a couple of them, right?
Yeah.
And imagine that situation happening after it's like, all right, we're going to lose this game because you can barely move the ball. Now all of a sudden you're on top in the game, and yeah.
It's like a giant brain fart.
Right.
You never really know what's being said on the sidelines. Can you call a timeout before that play to remind your players what to do in that scenario? I don't know. It's just, and listening to, I was watching a lot of Get Up this morning, and it's just interesting to hear what he said afterwards is, we didn't execute. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that play happened? I mean, you let him get to the position to have a Hail Mary. That ball was in the air for 66 yards, and he had a rib cartilage injury as well. So what a cannon, what a throw there by Jaden Daniels. But hey, the Commanders are now 6-2. I believe the Bears dropped to 5-3 or 4-3. I think 5-3. I forget. But anyway.
Bears are 5-3.
It might be 4-3. It might be 4-3. Actually,
we're gonna find out
it right in front of
now.
me. I don't know why I didn't say it. Yeah, 4-3. 4-3.
4-3.
Yep, they had won 3 straight and then lost that one, unfortunately, to the Commanders. But hey, the Commanders leading that division. We'll talk about the standings here in a little bit. But my poll question was gonna be. And this is extreme, but I was going to say, should Matt Eberflus's leash be extremely short now based on the result of that game? Because Ryan Warren commented on Facebook and said he single-handedly coached his way to that loss. And, that's fair, but, you got to execute too.
I just don't agree with that, though. Like, I don't agree that that's on the coach.
Why?
Because your defense is in a position where they need to make a play.
Yeah.
If they knock that ball down, no one's saying this stuff. No one's saying this.
Of course, but they didn't put themselves in the position to knock it down.
Okay, we got to give credit to the Commanders for, instead of trying to go down the field, right, they go and they get out of bounds and they have a second left or 3 seconds left, whatever it was.
2,
all right. So my opinion on it is overreaction. It's overreaction. People say, "Oh, it's on the coach." Like, nah, okay.
Well, whose job is it to call the defensive play?
But what I'm saying, all right. What I'm saying is, if that ball is knocked down, if the ball is knocked down and not tipped up,
we're not talking about it.
Exactly.
But
so
it was.
That's why. All right, exactly. And so that's why. And that's my entire point, though.
Yeah.
But it was. So now it's on the coach. But if it wasn't, then it's not on the coach. That's my issue with it. Is it's like, all right, well, I just disagree with that because it's on the player. It's on the players at that point. Why do the players never get any of the blame?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's kind of my position.
Why do coaches always get fired for the players doing what they're supposed to?
It depends on...
Salah's loving his life right now.
Right. It depends on the financial obligations, I would say. But in this one, I mean, and I'm okay with people saying whatever it is that they want to say. My position is different.
Is if the play before didn't happen, I would be less critical of the final play. Because I've watched so many end-of-the-game scenarios where you watch the defensive backs line the boundary because you can't let them get out of bounds. They didn't even do that. They dropped all their coverage like inside the red zone, and it gave them just this wide-open quick pass to put them into Hail Mary range. I have more issue with that coaching decision than I do with the final play.
And I'm with you on that, but again, I don't know if my bias is getting in the way because I wanted the Commanders to win.
Yeah.
Maybe there's that, but it's also... We're talking about a Bears team right now who's led by a rookie quarterback that's 4-3.
Yeah.
And so to just put the entire onus on Eberflus is like, all right, well, where have you guys been whenever they're making good coaching decisions? You know what I mean? It's like they make one and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't, got to put it all on the coaching staff. And it's like, I get it. I'm right there with you. That play before, but can we give some credit to Dan Quinn and the Commander staff for making that play call to like how about
Bears gave him about 40 yards worth of cushion to run a quick out, and hey,
but and it was being said by the commentators. I can't even remember. It was Romo in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Romo's telling you what's about to happen. You know, and that's football though, because it's one of those situations. Well, here's the thing though. If you sit there and you press them, then what happens?
Yeah. Then you maybe get beat over the top.
Right.
Or they don't complete, or they catch it, they get them down in bounds, the clock runs out. Game's over. I mean, obviously ifs and buts, of course. But yeah, I don't know, just some weird decisions were made, no doubt. But I mean, at the end of the day, it always flows up to the coach, so he's the one that's going to have to eat it. And some of these other coaches, and we'll switch from the Bears to Commanders, because I want to talk about the Jets in this first segment as well, and what's going on there in New York, because they just lost to probably the worst team in the NFL right now, and that is the New England Patriots. And even Drake May goes out with a concussion in the second quarter in that game. Jacoby Brissett comes back in. They end up scoring on a 4th and goal play late in the game to take the lead. And then Aaron Rodgers in a press conference was asked specifically about the darkness that the Jets are in. I think we have a short clip on that one.
Darkness for this team. Is that how you see it, and how do you get out of it? I mean, because you could just stay in the darkness as well.
Yeah, I've been in the darkness. You got to go in there, make peace with it.
Bill just said
He basically said you just got to go in the darkness and you got to face it, and then you got to come out. Or I don't know. Do you think this might be, maybe we're on Overreaction Monday here?
And that's fair.
Yeah. Do you think that that the Jets in their situation, what they've done, bringing over Aaron Rodgers, bringing over Devontae Adams, firing Robert Saleh, could go down in the next 10 years as one of the most organizational debacles that we've seen in the NFL?
No, because Deshaun Watson will reign on top.
You've got that as your outlier for
yeah,
sure.
Exactly.
Especially
That's going to be number
yesterday.
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anytime that you let a player control the organization, and I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is in control.
Yeah.
However, he's able to, all right, well, let's get you comfortable. Let's make moves that are for you. And I think anytime that you're in that situation, anytime that a player's holding out and you're going to succumb to what it is that they want, I think that you're putting yourself in a position that is going to lead you to failure.
Yeah.
It's we can go back to the Bears, right? Like, you have a player over there and it's totally different, but it's still somewhat the same, right? When a player is not locked in to what his job is supposed to be, you're going to open yourself up to failure.
Yeah. No doubt.
So, yes, I think that there's this is going to go down as hopefully a learning process for the Jets, but more than likely not.
Yeah. I mean, it just, Salah is sitting there. Now he's with the Packers organization as like a part-time, like, defensive strategist.
Okay.
So, yeah, LaFleur brought him over to kind of help out. And obviously Salah is still getting paid significantly by the New York Jets. But, yeah, Jets absolutely in a debacle right now, amongst other teams as well. But I think they've got that spotlight on them because of the Aaron Rodgers situation. Then they make the Devontae Adams trade to save what's going on, and literally nothing has got any better. If anything, they're kind of going in the other direction. But hey, they look very stagnant on offense. They look like they're just trying to play very there's just not a lot of creativity to it. And I don't know, maybe that's because Aaron Rodgers he's definitely not the Aaron Rodgers of old. There's no doubt about it. But I think the Aaron Rodgers experiment certainly will come to an end at the end of this football season in the NFL. But we'll go ahead and take a quick break. When I get back, we're going to talk a little bit about some we've kind of been hinting on this, and it's some more local news in regards to some development up to our north. You listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for college football and the Auburn Tigers.
He dives! He's in! Touchdown!
We heard you, Tiger fans. So this season, we're airing every single game. And you can take that to the bank.
And picked off in the end zone!
Plus, the biggest games in the SEC and around the country play here on your official station for college football, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a gentle breeze out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour and temps near 81. Tonight we will have clear skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be cool at 66. Sunny tomorrow and a high 81 with a gentle breeze. Mostly sunshine Wednesday with a temp of 82. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $41.99 a month when you use the ESPN-NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Again, good luck to Mosley and Arnold participating in the district championship over there at Panama Country Club. Looking forward to hearing the results from Jay later on today. We will report those tomorrow. Also, we got a lot of playoff action coming up here soon in all sorts of sports. I do know that North Bay Haven is moving on to the regional final. In the Region 1 final in their state tournament as they beat Bowles 3-2 on Saturday. They will play the next game on the 29th. That is Tuesday against Florida State High School. So just like Mosley, a lot of Florida State High action playing these local Bay County teams here. Real quick, did want to mention some news. The only reason I'm mentioning is this because we've had conversations throughout the show about something coming north of us golf course-wise. It's not officially official, but I'll read the article and let you guys make that decision. The Washington County BOCC approves New Hope Dune development order. The Board of Commissioners for Washington County approved the New Hope Dunes development order today, October 17th. The project, which was brought to the board's attention in an official capacity in August of this year, makes up approximately 4 parcels of property and 1,400 acres of land after surveying. Conservation surrounding the development have been polarizing for several reasons. It is believed that some of the members of the community that the project, which has 80 acres allocated to the construction of a golf course, will impede traffic, water and sewer, and conservation. However, others see it as a positive economic opportunity. Both sides were brought to the final discussion today before the board. Residents in the community who spoke at the meeting opposed the construction of the golf course and the development in the surrounding land. One of the main concerns related to groundwater and the potential impact private wells near the construction site could affect water levels in the area. Some local lakes and ponds may experience a drop in water levels. Dream Golf, the course developer, has yet to apply for a water management permit, so they cannot specify the source of water at this time. Additionally, residents express worries about existing road not being suitable for increased traffic, the potential dangers posed by outside factors. Beth Sheffield, a resident of Holmes Valley Road, where the traffic is expected to increase, voiced her concerns about the project. I've been on golf courses with my son. I know what goes on. They have little caddies out there all day serving alcohol to the people, Sheffield stated. So She highlighted that many community members travel these roads on foot.
They have little
caddies serving people alcohol.
Little caddies.
Yep. But obviously, she highlighted that many community members travel these roads on foot or horseback. So when you vote today, I want you to remember all of those little children in our community who go up and down the road, Sheffield added. Conservation, the final topic that was discussed, has been an important issue for the community. Some areas of the property were previously indigenous land. During the last planning commission, however, developers agreed to return any artifacts discovered on the property to the Lower Muskogee Creek Nation unless they are legally required to act differently. Furthermore, if any remains are found, the construction must legally halt in accordance with state law. Michael Kaiser, who's famous for Bandon Dunes and Sand Valley, two of the largest destination golf properties out in the middle of nowhere in the United States. Beautiful places, I might add. Dream Golf seeks to build courses in rural communities, further explaining that he builds local and hires local employees and vendors. He maintains the course will improve the local infrastructure. We always support philanthropically our local communities, and we do that in education, healthcare, and conservation, Kaiser explained. With Kaiser at the podium and County Commissioner of District 3 Trey Hawkins at his board seat, negotiations were made in good faith about how to negate some of these issues that were concerning citizens. Kaiser is not legally obligated to create ingress or egress. As inserted, he's checked all the boxes in order to get the development approved. However, he affirmed he is willing to listen and adjust according to the needs of the community while maintaining the interest of his business. Wesley Griffin, County Commissioner of District 1, stood alone in his decision to vote no, citing citizen concern over water utilization. Many board members inquired about the groundwater, road, and conservation issues in an effort to accommodate the community's needs. I say all that because if you know anything about Bandon Dunes, Sand Valley, and some of these other Mike Kaiser unbelievable properties, this would be a huge thing, not only for Washington County, but the Florida Panhandle when it comes to having a destination golf resort, kind of right in our backyard, so to speak. But yeah, Kaiser does a wonderful job of doing things. I think Whistling Straits might be in his portfolio as well. But unbelievable golf developer, and really he does those kind of things.
I'm laughing at portfolio because I think of the young.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, and I know a lot about Sand Valley. Gavin, the head pro at Bay Point, he worked at Sand Valley for a little while, helping them out while we were doing renovations on the Nicklaus Greens. And they go out into very rural areas and build these magnificent properties that bring people from all over the world to come to them. And it's going to just boost your local economy. It creates jobs. I mean, and golf courses are also natural conservation areas as well. I mean, and I understand the concerns because people think, it's a golf, they're going to be partying the whole time. If you know anything, look up Sand Valley, look up Bandon Dunes, look up Whistling Straits, look up these places.
It's not the waste management tool.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not in a huge, heavily populated area. I did want to mention that though because we have talked about something potentially coming, and people have asked, what is it going to be? So there you go. Looks like it's going to be a really, really big, cool destination golf property. Obviously, many years in the making because it does take some time, but they've always done, multiple golf courses, short courses, beautiful resorts, shooting courses, like just anything you can think of from a destination where you and people just, if you go and you stay there and you just enjoy that property. And hey, why not here in the Florida Panhandle?
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be, it would be great.
It'd be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention that this morning.
Probably something out of my price range.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess if things start.
hey, you just keep it on.
Lighting up in my favor, I guess.
That's it. Hey, maybe they'll have a big time locals discount.
There you go.
But it's
big time locals discount was at 10%.
I don't know. But yeah, it just if it's anything like what he's done elsewhere, it is going to be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Bring Washington County on the map. There's no doubt about that. All right. Are you surprised? The Dodgers are up 2-0 in the World Series.
Not at all.
Let's talk about that moment on that was Friday night, I believe. Bottom of the 10th.
Yeah.
Your boy that you hated to see him go, but you still love him to death, and he shined on the biggest stage in Game 1 of the World Series.
It's got to be one of the best bat flips that I've ever seen.
Awesome.
You're sitting there, and the Yankees take that lead there in the top of the 10th to go up 3-2. and you're just, I feel like if I was the Dodgers fan, it's like, if we can just get Shohei Ohtani up to the plate. Shohei gets up, then he hits that little fly ball over there to left field, and Verdugo. I don't think that this situation happens if Verdugo doesn't go into the stands.
Yeah.
But his momentum carries him over there, and then after that, so now you've got, second base open, so you walk Mookie Betts in order to get to Freddie Freeman, hoping
none of that sounds safe,
Right. Well, but the thing is hoping that his hobbled ankle is still impairing him somewhat.
Yeah, making him a little slower,
he gets up and just fastball right down the middle, essentially, a little bit low and inside, I guess, and Freddie Freeman just creams it, and
no doubter.
I mean, class act, though, just to hold his bat up like that. It looks almost directly for his dad, you know, and it's just like, this is batting practice, Pops, you know? Really cool situation, and as much as you hate it as a Braves fan, I think it's also like, you deserve this, Freddie.
Yeah. No
and
doubt.
I don't want to see the Dodgers win because of the whole, the last time that they actually won a World Series in a regular, with a 162 regular game series was like 1980 something.
Yeah.
So with that, you don't want to see them win, but also I hate the Yankees. So it's one of those that whenever one of these teams lose, it's like, all right, awesome. But for Freddie Freeman to be able to come up clutch in that situation, awesome.
Yeah. Good stuff. And then, of course, like you said, he said, this isn't my moment. This is my dad's moment. Pretty classy, pretty special stuff there. Excuse me. You walked through that beautifully, and it gave me some chills. It was good stuff. It was good stuff. But, hey, then the Dodgers got the victory again, despite Shohei Ohtani going out with an apparent shoulder injury, although it does look like he is going to be playing in Game 3 tonight.
I just don't, at this point, it's like being in the playoffs in the NFL. I mean, it's the World Series.
Yeah, every game
is of the utmost importance, so we can get over your injury next year.
Yeah.
Right now, let's win the World Series because that's what we paid you $700 and something million to do is win the World Series.
Yep.
And without him in the lineup, things changed drastically. So, be tough and let's get through this.
No doubt. And then kind of on the flip side, you got one of the better sluggers in the AL that's just not really stepped up yet, and that's Aaron Judge having a very, very challenging October, and of course the series switches back to the Bronx tonight, and I know the Yankees fans are expecting some big things out of him, but so far has not delivered, but the series is only 2 games into it, and it goes 2-3-2. So the Yankees could essentially head back to Los Angeles with a chance to win the World Series.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think that they win one, maybe in New York, but the Yankees pitching is better. We had Sam Peebles on, and we went through each position essentially, and who has the edge type segment. The Yankees pitching is better, but this Dodgers lineup is so potent, and a lot of the pitchers are turning, they're catching a little bit of heat here in the terms of he's on fire. They're catching a little bit of heat here as we progress through this series, and when you see your offense, there's something contagious even from the pitching side of things when you have confidence in what your offense is doing, and that's what the Dodgers bring to the table right now. So I don't think that this is going to be a competitive series. I think that the Yankees might win tonight, and then after that, I really thought that the Yankees were going to come back and win Game 2. But seeing how that played out, I think that they get a little bit of momentum by being at home tonight, and then that's going to be all she wrote, and the Dodgers win in 5.
Ooh,
I don't think we even go back to LA.
I like it. I wonder if you can still bet the series. I'm sure you can.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
It might not be on Hard Rock.
I know you could prior to the start of the series, as you could predict the outcome of the series. Obviously,
let's see.
That is a very challenging thing to do, but usually your odds are significantly high when it comes to picking that kind of stuff. But yes, Game 3. 3 tonight in the Bronx. That'll be 7:08 first pitch right there on Fox. Every game is at 7:08. Game 4 will be Tuesday night as well. Dodgers, if they win tonight, could have a chance to win the World Series coming up. But David, you might know this stat off the top of your head, but I know it's Freddie Freeman and Gibson are the only two players in World Series history, I believe, to hit a walk-off in either extra innings or just a walk-off with 2 outs in a game, something like that. But rare air there for Freddie Freeman.
Absolutely. The statistic that that's coming to mind is it's not even a statistic. It's just the fact that both of them had hobbled ankles and worked their way through the postseason and were able to hit a walk-off home run. I don't know about the 2 outs there. I'd have to.
There was something I pulled that out of memory because I saw it come across the screen and then I that's what I recall, but my short-term memory is
But, I mean, hey, to be in the same sentence as Kirk Gibson, I think is a plus. And honestly, what a great baseball game that was.
Shoo.
I mean, you see the fan reach over and grab what was it, Stanton, I believe, who was up, right? And you see him reach over and you're like, oh man, was that a home run or not? And then they go into extra innings and wow, just what a game. One of the greatest. I mean, whenever we're seeing that, I'm like, man, when was the last time game 1 went to extra innings? Then you find out the last 3 game 1s of the World Series have went to extra innings. You're like, wow, well, I guess baseball's been in a pretty good, competitive
matchup. The matchups have been solid. Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, what a dream as a young. Obviously, Freddie Freeman's had a fantastic career, won the World Series with the Braves, but to be up, Dodgers, Yankees, bases loaded, bottom of the 10th, and to hit a grand slam home run to walk off game 1 in front of your home crowd. Like, I don't know if it gets any better than that. And then, of course, we were treated to the Hail Mary that we talked about in the first segment last night. Man. Sportstober, baby. If you were, and I guess NASCAR is heating up, too. There was a crazy finish in NASCAR as well. I don't know about it. But something came across. It was like, wild finish in NASCAR. And I guess there's 8.
Oh, Tyler Reddick ended up winning.
Ooh, there you go. There you go. But yeah, somebody said it was some kind of crazy wild finish. I'm sure that's what Jay probably watched over the weekend instead of any of the other stuff going on.
Well, Georgia was on a bye week, so.
That's true. Man,
college football was wild.
College football was indeed wild, no doubt. Yeah, we'll dive into college football here in the next segment. But, high school football this past Friday, several local games, and another team clinching a playoff spot. But last Friday, some of your local scores, obviously, Mosley, we talked about them against Gulf Breeze last Thursday. They play Florida State High on the road coming up this Friday. That'll be 6 p.m. local time, 7 p.m. over there in the Eastern time zone. But Bay beat Rutherford 21-13. Another great effort by the Rutherford Rams, Coach Floyd over there. Bozeman beat North Bay Haven Cattlemen 41-9. Destin lost.
Hey, how about North Bay Haven getting on the board, baby?
Hey, absolutely. Hey, you got to start somewhere, right? You got to keep it going. You never lay down. You just keep fighting. Booker T. Washington beat Destin 49-8. Pensacola Catholic beat South Walton 45-7. Port St. Joe shut out Sneed. Sneed's with a surprising 3-6 record this year. And then, of course, the Arnold Marlins improved to 7-3 on the season. Fought all the way to the end.
Arnold did end up winning against Rickard?
16-14. So they clinched that number 8 seed in the, I believe that would be the 4A Region 1 bracket. Obviously, they're going to have to go up against a very, very solid number 1 seed. Don't know who that is. We'll find out.
I think it's Choctaw?
Probably. That would make sense.
Choctaw's got a heck of a team this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, we'll get the playoff schedule. We got one more regular season game, but looks like we're going to have at least two teams in the playoffs from Bay County football this year. I know we did last year too, but hey, I think it was Bozeman and Mosley, if I'm not mistaken.
Bays?
Yeah, that's why I said at least two. At least two. Because I don't know. I know Bay lost that one game to
Walton.
And I think
41-31, yeah.
And that was the one to get them in, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, so high school football is...
Well, they won, but when they beat West Florida, that clinched their...
district?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, because district champs get in no matter what, right?
Yeah.
But if you did, and you host it, if you're a team you're going against.
clinching, because like last year, Mosley clinched. It's so convoluted. That's why I just rely on Banji.
Yeah, just listen to Banji. He's on Wednesdays at
Wednesdays 4:20.
4:20.
Yeah.
Yes, tune in the afternoon underdogs for all your accurate high school football information. I try my best, but even trying to search up the information is hard.
And that's what's been such a godsend about Banji, is because that's his focus. That's what he does. And for us, we try to go through as many sources as we can, and sometimes it's very difficult.
Yep, no doubt. There's not just one location for all this information.
It's MaxPreps, FHSAA.com, and you're just like, all right, well, why are y'all saying two different things right now?
Yep, it's the same state, same team. It's like golf. Like, where do you go to find the golf? There's some other random site.
Yeah.
I think that's an FHSAA thing. But hey, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to dive into some college football action from this past weekend. The plot continues to thicken. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
Dat Cajun Place is your LSU and Saints football headquarters. Saints and LSU fans, wear your team colors and score a free Jell-O shot when your team scores a touchdown. Only at Dat Cajun Place. Get $5 pitchers on select draft beers during all live football games. Catch all the games at once with the NFL package on 27 large TVs at Dat Cajun Place. And the best wings on the beach. The locals' favorite, Dat Cajun Place. Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing is a combination that's hard to beat. With years and years of experience in vehicle repair, foreign and domestic, name brand tires and fair prices have established Hewitt Tire and Auto as a leader that folks can call on again and again. And if you need a tow, call Hometown Towing at 850-265-1562. Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing, an unbeatable combination. Airport Road, Panama City. Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Auburn basketball returns November 6th.
Cardwell to the basket with authority. Unbelievable.
Bruce Pearl and the reigning SEC tournament champions are ready to take on the most challenging schedule in school history.
Right wing three, Denver. Yes! Big three. Tonight. Turn, shoot, good.
Catch all the action on your home for Auburn basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida. War Eagle.
If you're not scanning while the cashier is begging, we're judging you a little.
Why am I working at the grocery store now?
It's the Inside Drive with Ryan and Jay. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios at ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 here in Panama City and Panama City Beach. 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Obviously, you're home for the Atlanta Braves, who are be back in action the end of March of next year. And then, of course, always your home for Mosley Dolphin football, including the end also the Auburn Tigers, who were able to get the victory, their first SEC victory of the season. Basically, what they've been saying for them to do all season long. They've had a lot of leads in the second half that they've, quote-unquote, just let go away due to turnovers and bad play calling. But this past Saturday, Auburn put the ball in Jarquez Hunter's hands, which a lot of the Auburn faithful have been telling Hugh Freeze to do. And not only was that a winning combination, Jarquez ran for 278 rushing yards, which just happens to be the most rushing yards in a game this season by a college football player, which also led to the 24-10 victory over the Kentucky Wildcats, not letting Kentucky score a single point in the second half. Certainly helps when you can dominate the possession and make that stuff happen. But I mean, Auburn's defense has played well all year. I read a stat, I believe, last Friday that they were one of like 4 or 5 teams that were top 5 in offensive per play as well as defensive per play. But all the other teams were like 34-5, and Auburn was 2-5 at the time. Now they've obviously improved to 3-5 on the season, which is about halfway over, which is pretty crazy to think. But you had some other big time football games over this past weekend. We'll just live in the top 25 for right now. We already talked about the Pittsburgh-Syracuse game and Kyle McCord just absolutely throwing the ball to the other team instead of his own players. Boise State continues their good season. They won 29-24. UNLV really sold out in that game to stop Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, they did.
But he still ran for 128 yards and a touchdown. Just goes to show you, this guy is certainly a special player, no doubt about that. The Oregon Ducks continue to quack their way to an undefeated. That was terrible. Quack their way to an undefeated record as they were able to take down number 9 ranked Illinois 38-9, and Illinois just continues that trend in the Big Ten, and they had to go 2 time zones and didn't come out with the victory. Penn State escaped late with 14 points in the fourth quarter to remain undefeated as they beat Wisconsin 28-13. They only held a 14-13 lead going into that. We got a caller on the line?
We do.
Who do we got?
Jay-Bird, go ahead.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing this morning?
Now we're doing good. How are you doing?
Is this a first?
Are you
Jay calling into the radio show?
Unprovoked, yeah. Yeah, maybe we did provoke him. Did I say something that provoked him?
I don't think so.
Have you started play yet, Jay? We've been talking about you guys this morning.
Well, good, yeah. So everything shotgun start at 10 o'clock this morning.
Ooh, so we're getting close to being halfway-ish done.
Yes, we are about to cruise to the back 9 here. Give you guys an update. South Walton is +3.
True. Solid.
Arnold Marlins +12. And Mosley Dolphins +13 right now.
Ooh. I didn't know. I didn't know the answer to this. How many advance from the district to the regional?
Yeah, so only 2 teams go.
And then individuals right go if they're not on a team, but their score is in the top whatever.
Right, that's right. And update on that is Ethan McGregor is leading the individualists with 100 through 6 holes right now.
Nice.
And Bo Baxter out of South Walton is 100 through 6 as well.
Some good golf being played. Little interesting conditions out there this morning. Some fog kind of rolled in. I don't know. We got the blackout curtains here now in the studio, so I can't. It looks like it may be sunny out there.
Forget the weather outside. I can see your face.
Yeah, I know. I can see my own face too. And look how ridiculous these headphones look. They're massive. They are massive. But Jay, the little breezy out there.
Well, we all started this morning. It was a little overcast, windy, a little chilly, and, I mean, now it's just a complete 180. It's sunshine and 80 degrees and a breath of air, just a little bit of wind.
Hey, so, adapt it. You got to adapt there on the golf course. Also, I know you're talking about golf, but a little birdie told me that the Jay Henley-led basketball team might have been the silver bracket champions in your league.
That is a Big 10-4. Right?
Ooh, a hot dog.
Big 10-4, yes, sir. We took home the championship Saturday morning, 11:30 tip-off, and I think we won that game 55-39. So we had a great game and ended the season on a high note, so it was good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. What's how are the conditions out there? Are the greens rolling real fast, challenging for them? What's it looking like?
Man, the greens are lightning fast out here.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, if you get a little downhill, downwind, down grain action, it's they keep rolling. So we'll see, man. We'll see how the back nine plays out. But top two advance, and right now it's Arnold and Mosley going at it for the back nine.
Yeah, so, there you go.
Yep.
There you go. Well, Jay, we appreciate you giving us a shout and giving us an update. Good luck to Arnold and Mosley as they get ready to make the turn here in about 30, 45 minutes to that backside, trying to the regionals over there in the Lake City area, right?
Yep, Lake City.
Absolutely.
So we'll see.
Cool. Well, Jay, thanks for calling us and
guys.
giving us a live update of the district championships going on over there at Panama Country Club.
Absolutely. Afternoon delight coming up real shortly.
7 minutes and 50 seconds.
Tick, tick, tick. Jay, congrats on the championship, and go get another championship here in about 2.5, 3 hours.
Go Marlins.
There you go. There you go. Jay Henley, ladies and gentlemen, this time without the guitar, but on the phone. He sounds so good on the phone.
Oh, man.
I don't know how he must have been in a spot where he had, but he did say that the wind really died down because it was blowing pretty good this morning.
He was underneath one of them pine trees.
That's it. Absolutely.
Where is he at?
Panama Country Club.
Oh, I thought they were down south for some reason.
No. They don't go south until the state finals. That'd be Howie at the Hills.
But this is the day where if Arnold doesn't win, then he loses everything.
I was going to bring that up, but I didn't want to put that much pressure on him because it's live action right now. Eyebrows too, or just hair?
Nose hair,
everything,
eyebrows.
Dip them in.
I want 1.5 eyebrows.
That's fair.
And I want it to be from about where his eye starts. Like go to the middle of the nose, and I want the outer half of his eyebrow to remain.
Not the inner half. That's the default half that people leave when you get the eyebrow. No, we got to flip it around.
We're gonna do it differently around here.
We always do. There was a kid on my on our high school varsity hockey team, Jeff Calvin. He had the unibrowiest unibrow I had ever seen. I might have talked about this before, but
like Anthony Davis type.
No,
unibrow?
like even worse than that. Like just the same thickness all the way across. And I forget what the bet. It was like if we made the playoffs or something, made something that year, he had to shave his unibrow, and it was somebody else on the team had to do it with a skate. We ended up making the playoffs, and we shaved his unibrow, and he was a completely different person after that. I don't know what happened if he grew it back. Hopefully he did, but he embraced it. He embraced the unibrow. There is no doubt about that beautiful unibrow. But Jay, hey, if he loses, now is it if he loses to Mosley or if they just don't make it to the? What if Mosley and Arnold both make it to the regionals?
Arnold has to win today.
Okay.
If they don't win today, if they're second place and they lose by half a stroke,
that'd be interesting.
My bloke is gonna be hairless.
Yeah, like a cat. Like a cat. All right, real quick, getting back to the top 25 action from this past weekend. I would say this is fair to say Ohio State survived against Nebraska 21-17. Will Howard threw for 3 touchdowns. Nebraska did all they could do to try to win that football game, but just came up too little too late. This game, did you get a chance to see a good bit of this? Texas and Vanderbilt. Texas kept getting ahead by a good bit, and then Vanderbilt kept fighting back, and kind of proud of the Commodores for the fight they had in that game. I know probably a lot more people were watching that than would have had Vandy not beat Alabama.
I was, I had that game on the iPad. I was actually watching football with my buddy Dalton and hanging out with my, not blood, but yeah, I consider them my niece and nephew, Brooklyn and Braden. And so we had that game on the iPad and was kind of just checking into it. I did put a little money line bet on Vanderbilt.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt. The 18.5 were definitely good to start the game, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's again, I would say this. This is what I'll say about that game. Vanderbilt is the only team that lost this weekend that should move up in the rankings.
Yeah.
Because if we were thinking that Vanderbilt was 25 going into this week, they showed that they're better than a top 25 team, right? Like
yeah.
I think that they're, top 20, honestly. So I would move them up a couple of spots, even though that even though that they lost.
Yeah. I think that's completely fair, and I think they did drop from the rankings, but I completely agree with that sentiment because, I mean, you lost by 3 to the number 5 team in the country. You've already beat the number 1 team in the country once already this season, and you're 5-3, 2-2 in the SEC, and it's going to be a tough matchup for Auburn and a big matchup for Auburn coming off their first SEC win. But Vandy's coming to Jordan-Hare, so we'll see if Auburn can steal another SEC victory coming up this weekend. Florida State, Miami. That game was never really close. Score 36-14 in that. Florida State drops to 1-7. Miami improves to 8-0 on the season, 4-0 in the SEC, and kind of just continuing to be in the driver's seat there in the ACC with a playoff spot looking ever so closer as they continue to progress throughout the season. I don't know if this is the most surprising of the weekend, but maybe surprising that LSU blew the lead and A&M just absolutely balled out in the second half. But Texas A&M, on the heels of 31 points in the second half, only scored 7 in the first half. Some wonderful halftime adjustments there. Nussmeier threw the ball 50 times for LSU for 405 yards and 2 touchdowns, but just not enough for the number 8 ranked LSU Tigers at the time to beat Texas A&M. And Texas A&M certainly in the driver's seat right now in the SEC with arguably one of the biggest games of the season coming up in a couple weeks. Last game of the season, they faced the Texas Longhorns, likely for the SEC top spot in the SEC. But yeah, Texas A&M, they've started and they've just come on strong week in and week out.
Connor Wegman starts that game, and it just felt incredibly different once Marcel Reed took over. Yeah. And they score, like, the first play, he takes over. It's like, all right, well, this game is now essentially a totally different ball game, and it just continued on that way, and Garrett Nussmeier and the Tigers were never able to find their way back into that game. And you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Elko on what the Texas A&M Aggies have been able to do. So that was at first it was looking like it was going to be a really good game, and then Texas A&M just They held tough, man. And Marcel Reed, Jimbo Fisher recruit, was able to do big things. And I think that you don't go back to Wegman. Don't go back to Wegman. No. Just get the passing game better for Marcel Reed.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, Texas A&M certainly, I don't know if surprising is the right word, but Jimbo Fisher is certainly in the rear view mirror and getting further and further away as they continue. One more quick score recap, and then we'll take the break. BYU traveling all the way over from Utah to Orlando. Never really were in jeopardy in that game. 37-24 was the final score. Played great football. Quarterback B.Y. Jew played fantastic.
That was the lock of the week. Easy.
And I was talking to Chris Fall about that at the basketball game on Saturday. It's like, what's up with this -2.5 for UCF? Does anybody else think this is weird? Like, should I not bet it? And I was like, no, all in. And hey, it paid off.
That was easy money. That was that and the Lions -12 were like,
I wish I would have thought more about that. Yeah.
Like this, okay, thank you.
Yep.
I love them kind of lines.
Yeah, some of those are lions and lines. Some of those are they stand out a little more than others. But we got to go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, we may have some afternoon delight debriefs, or we may continue talking about college football. You're listening to Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Coming up tonight on Monday Night Football.
Pickens is there, makes the catch, touchdown Steelers.
The New York Giants are at the resurging Pittsburgh Steelers, who have won 3 out of their last 4. We'll have coverage coming up at 6:30, kickoff at 7:15 on your home for the NFL.
And the Steelers have pulled within 3.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a gentle breeze out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour and temps near 81. Tonight we will have clear skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be cool at 66. Sunny tomorrow and a high 81 with a gentle breeze. Mostly sunshine Wednesday with a temp of 82. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hewitt Tire and Auto. Call 850-769-7323. Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing. Visit them online at HewittTire.com on Airport Road in Panama City. 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's time to pick your path and go big, go bold. You can drive away in a new 2024 Telluride from Bill Bird Kia. The 2024 Telluride protects what matters, and it's built for the long haul. Its technology will connect with confidence, and upscale all-around rugged look will take you onto your next adventure. The road is yours. Bill Bird Kia, the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. 20-year, 200,000-mile warranties and Bill Bird Kia warranty.
Do you suffer from political talk radio fatigue? Then tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN at Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. You can watch, like, listen, comment, subscribe, share, follow, all of those beautiful things. Social media, that's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, streaming live, all three shows every day, 5 days a week, 7 to 9 a.m. That's the Coach James Hale Show. You're obviously listening to The Inside Drive, 11 to 1. And, of course, your afternoon cap, your evening cap, that is the afternoon underdogs from 4 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, coming up this afternoon at 4 p.m. Looking forward to hearing that. Also, you can download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. That one you do just need to search 104.3 and that bad boy will pop up right there in either one of those stores. You download it, you open it up, hit that play button, you can listen to us streaming live wherever you are. If you're in your car or if you're in your car and you don't have a radio, I don't know if that ever happens, but maybe it does. Maybe your radio's not working. You can pull up that phone and listen to us live. And of course, you got the Mosley Dolphins coming up Friday, 6 p.m. right there on 104.3. It'll be David Hayes, Kyle Wright with the call from over there at Florida State High. David, you guys been to Florida
Another
State?
drive. No,
Another
we've
drive.
never been there. Actually, you know, when I was in high school playing football for Eagles Nest, we went and played John Paul the second or the third, or maybe
it's always
fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever it was.
We played John Paul teams
and they
up in
were
New Jersey in hockey.
They were right there next to FSU High, but I've never been to that particular stadium, and looking forward to it though. I believe. I believe that this is a good barometer test. There's been one on the Mosley schedule so far, and that's Niceville. Everyone else has been beat the team how you're supposed to beat them. I mean, for every game, I've known that there's going to be a running clock, or felt like this game is going to have a running clock in it. And so I don't think that the one in Tallahassee is going to be that way. We'll see how it all plays out, though.
Which is good, right? Because your next game after that is going to be a playoff game.
Right.
You need a good matchup going into the playoffs.
Yes.
And, you know, good job for Coach Whidden and however the schedule works that they scheduled this team. And hopefully they give them a run for their money. And they obviously, we hope they win the football game. But I think regardless, they're going to be hosting a playoff game the week after. Again. Banji.
I mean, even Banji, though, like when you start talking about who's hosting a playoff game and everything like that.
Extra convoluted.
Right. And that's, I do believe that they need to win this game to host a playoff game, because if they lose, they're going to drop down in the rankings. And if you're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're not hosting, or 5, 6, 7, 8, you're not hosting a playoff game at that point. So we'll see how it all pans out. But at the end of the day, you've got to go into this not worrying about are we hosting a playoff game or we're not. You play your game. You get some carries to LaKavion Jackson, but keep Sammy Chisholm going. You've also got Sean Williams, who's like the third, fourth string running back. Well, that kid is going to be a monster next year. And we keep on forgetting about, we talk so much about LaKavion Jackson. Sammy Chisholm is just a sophomore. But, yeah, this is one of those ones where, it would be nice to go in there and dominate and get some more reps for your second stringers. But at this point, right now, it's just about business.
Yep.
Just go in there and you'll find out how the game goes. But, FSU High, rather, is a team that I think brings more to the table than 8 of the other teams that Mosley has played to this point. So you would like to really handle business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And put an exclamation point on your undefeated season, because if you win this, it's the first time that you as a program have gone undefeated since 1981. Wow. Now, yes, it's nice and dandy that we want to host a playoff game, but that right there means something.
Absolutely.
So, put your pride on the line just for the undefeated season.
Yeah. That's a big thing. Obviously, it doesn't happen very often 43 years ago. So, again, that's the Mosley Dolphins. Coverage will begin probably 5-ish. We'll get that figured out. Keep you posted later in the week. But the game does kick off at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. over there in Tallahassee.
Yeah, and I will find out tonight, how the pregame and all of that. I gotta figure those things out when I can.
It's only Monday.
You're right. And I have Brian Haddad today. So.
Yeah, perfect. There you go.
Coach Andy Siegel, I believe, is over there in Bahrain right now with Bear Siegel.
With the World Championships, right? That's some cool stuff. Congratulations to him and all the success that his son has had. Also want to thank our studio sponsor, as we always do at the top of the hour. That's Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor, right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. If you've driven by it, which most of us have, some of us do it 3 or 4 times a day, depending on what's going on with youth sports. But they got lots of vehicles in stock, beautiful vehicles all over that parking lot. And if you just need some service, they'll service your car, whether it's GM or not. They've got express service, their regular service, tires at cost, trade-in values still very high. That is Bill Kramer GM. And of course, it is beautiful to be out there on the water. And if you have a boat that is not currently getting you out there, you can give Kramer Marine and Outdoor a call at 850-851-0453. With their mobile service, they'll come to you. You don't even have to tow it to the dealership. They'll get you back out on the water ASAP. And if you're looking for a new boat, they of course sell the family of CRI boats. That is Seabourn, Spider, Sundance, and they also sell
Skater
right there at Kramer Marine. You can also check out all that new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. I do have I don't have a ton of Afternoon Delight debriefs, but I do have one, and it is sports related, and it has to do with the game day this past weekend at Indiana University. Every Saturday they do the kick, the Pat McAfee kick, for however much money it's going to be. Well, the initial first kicker that was chosen to compete this past Saturday was warming up behind the stage and tore his ACL.
I heard that.
So he got a replacement kicker to come in, and Pat McAfee gave him the opportunity, if you hit this kick, the replacement kicker and the original kicker, whose name was Jake,
both got
$150,000. And then he missed it, and then he gave him a second chance to do it.
Stanford Steve was like, no, you don't deserve one. You shanked that thing, brother.
And then he made no adjustments and missed it again. So the chance to win a total of $300,000 went out the window. But brutal for the first guy, warming up, trying to get it going, tore his ACL in that one. So certainly an Afternoon Delight debrief, and certainly interesting. But it's really, really cool to see that college game day kick, because a lot of them have made it and won a lot of money.
Can we pause the Afternoon Delight debrief?
Absolutely.
We've got Alan on the line.
Ooh, absolutely. Mr. Commander himself from ESPN Richmond. What's up, Alan?
Hey, what's up, man? Just real quick, can I just say that's probably the greatest trick I've ever pulled off. Even my family thinks I'm a Commanders fan.
You are, in fact, a San Francisco 49ers fan.
I was at the stadium last night openly complaining to the staff that the week before, when we were doing our post game, I could hear the Steelers and Jets so loud it felt like I was at the game. But the Niners played the Cowboys, and I couldn't make out the noise at all. And I was like, why is it so quiet now? Who cares if they're playing the Cowboys? The Niners are playing.
Yeah, no doubt. But obviously you're with ESPN Richmond, and you've been covering all these Washington Commander games and this fantastic season they've been having, and you were there during the Hail Mary Madness last night. Kind of walk us through what it was like to be there during that game.
So, leading up to that play, I don't think anybody felt like that they were going to, I felt like everybody was kind of accepting defeat, right? And the press box is primarily the home team, but in this particular case, because it was such a nationally recognized game and they had like Nance and Romo there, we were actually probably split. Because I know my section always has the same people in my section, and it was just me by myself with a bunch of people I'd never seen before. I was like, wait a minute, this is weird. Everybody got moved around and shuffled. So essentially, I was in the middle. To my right was all Commander coverage. To my left was all Bears and national coverage. And when the play happened, if you listen to the radio broadcast, essentially how it sounded in the press box. Everybody's like, throw the ball, don't get sacked, no, what are you doing? Hurry up, okay, let it go. And then he throws it, and I couldn't see. I don't think any of us could really see from our angle if the ball got all the way down there. So there was this long pause where we're like, did it get down there? What's going on? And then we can see the deflection, and then Noah Brown catches the ball, and I mean, me personally, my heart stopped, but like it was as pandemonium as you could get. Like they started flashing the lights, and like people were throwing like shirts and everything up in the air. Like it was wild. And I'm sitting in the middle, where to my right is the home side, to my left is the visitor side. And I heard Greeny earlier today say that it sounded like it was a lot of Bears there. It was half Bear fans. I can tell you firsthand, it was maybe 20% Bears fans. It was a lot of Commanders fans, and they went berserk.
Yeah, I mean, that moment is a moment that obviously you and all the Commanders fans will remember for the rest of their lives. But just a crazy season and new ownership, new coaching staff. You get the number 2 pick. The Bears took Caleb Williams. You guys get Jaden Daniels, 6-2. That was capped off with that Hail Mary play. I mean, what's the vibe right now like? Not obviously around the Commanders, but the fan base and everything going on up there. Is it comfortable knowing that, okay, we are a good football team, or is it still a little like, hey, we're riding this thing? When is this dream going to come to an end?
It's the latter. These guys have PTSD of the highest order, man. Every time you compliment a Commander or anything or get excited about it, they bring up RG3. They bring up the years with Daniel Snyder. Even my host this morning started the show 7 minutes of remembering Joe Gibbs. I'm like, dude, we're winning now. Like, we're in today.
Who
cares about that?
Yep.
Right? So I make fun of it every single chance I get. I have so much fun with it, because what Commander fans don't realize is that us Niner fans actually remember a time when we were a 2 or 4 win team before we started getting consistently into Super Bowls and beaten by Patrick Mahomes. There was a time when we didn't qualify for conversations. And I tell them all the time to embrace it.
Enjoy it, man. Like, it doesn't come around that often.
It's magical in the sense of, if you look at how this franchise transformed itself, it starts and ends with them making the right hires, man. Like Dan Quinn, Adam Peters come in. Dan Quinn establishes the culture. Adam Peters gets the draft right. One of the unsung heroes of this run, especially in the last 2 weeks, is the defensive tackle that they got from Illinois in the 2nd round. Johnny Newton has been phenomenal, man. He's a game changer to the sense he's freed up Darren Payne, which I know Coach Hill probably knows because he's a Bama guy, but Payne looks like Payne from Alabama. He is a disruptive force. He sacked Caleb Williams last night, ran him down basically. He's back to being the playmaker that he can be because he's freed up, because the guy he's matched up with now, no offense to Jonathan Allen, is the guy that's moving the pocket and taking on the double teams and playing unselfish. And that's the culture that Dan Quinn has established, to the point where guys who were there before Dan Quinn don't even talk about what it used to be like. Like, you can't get Terry McLaurin to bring up last year or Ron Rivera, that era. He's so dialed in to what we have today as a winning football team that it's just, like, for me to see last year and this year, it's like I'm in a dream. Like, I can't believe that one person could flip a franchise like this just by his energy, his enthusiasm, and his game planning.
Well, and that brings you to the point, like, how important ownership is on making the right decisions when it comes to your NFL franchise. Because if you look around the league right now, there is a lot of NFL franchises where it starts and ends with the ownership making horrible decisions, and that culminates to what you're seeing from some of these performances on the football field. I mean, we can name a half a dozen right now that are just dismal, including those New York Jets just up the road from you guys there in East Rutherford.
Yeah, New York is awful. I guess I can say this since I'm not actually on my show. They're trash. It's really bad, man. I made a joke last week that everything New York, from basketball to baseball to the high school teams, I wouldn't back it 1% with the sports team. They lack leadership and accountability across the board. We could do that with the Yankees. We could do that with the Knicks. We could do that with the Jets, the Giants. It's just bad, man. And for them being the largest market, basically, of the sporting world, is almost disrespectful to us, you know? Like,
yeah.
If you're gonna be the largest market, at least have something for us to root against. Like, you don't even have that anymore. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting our time. Yeah. And they always end up on TV and everything. It's so annoying.
Yep.
But the Commanders are doing it the right way. I hate using that phrase, but God, if it ever applied, it had to be now.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Certainly fun to be a part of with everything going on right there. What gets in the Commanders' way between now and the rest of the season?
Obviously, the injury bug would get in their way. Little insight, one of their linebackers, Frankie Luvo, he's been a disruptive number 4. He was nursing what looked like to be a calf injury yesterday. I think it's just precautionary, but like something like that. Like, they're not a deep team, right? They've only had one draft class to really address their needs, and everything Ron Rivera did for them was a disaster. So having to lean on the lack of depth would be a bad thing for them. So as long as they stay healthy, they're going to compete, and what we see is what we get. They're going to be one of the better teams in the NFL. But you know, a couple injuries or a cluster of injuries to them would really derail this ship.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously their division, the bottom 2 teams, obviously Dallas is, I was so thankful that the Niners won yesterday, because Dallas is, you talk about ownership disasters. That's certainly at the top of the list as well. And then the Giants are just an awful football team. But the Philadelphia Eagles, 3 straight victories, and Jalen Hurts seeming to play a little bit more like the Jalen Hurts that first came into the league. So obviously I think it's good that you've got a team in the division that's going to keep pushing the Commanders to win more football games, because you never want to get complacent. And like you said, the depth is an issue, so complacency can lead to a lot of different things. But obviously the the rib cartilage injury for Daniels wasn't really a factor in this past game. Is that
I think it was, though. Honestly, if you remember the last couple passes before the Hail Mary, they were kind of like dirt balls.
Yeah,
he was in pain. He was visibly in pain. The Bears are somewhat chumps, because there were a couple plays where they literally punched this man in the ribs. Mm-hmm. They would tackle him and try to get the forearm to the ribs or some kind of shot to the ribs if they made contact with him. And if you notice, in the latter part of the second half, they stopped rolling him out and they stopped using him in the run game because of those extra moves that the Bears were doing. They were trying to protect him, and then the offense got stale. And so I would say he's more injured than we were led to believe, because he started and everybody assumed he was healthy. He warmed up just fine. I sent you guys the videos of that. He warmed up just fine. But I can tell you, on like the second hit he took, it was grimacing, and there might be some footage out there where he kind of came off like with his arm a little limp, but I think it's just because the pain in his side. But he fought through it, and even he admitted yesterday in the press conference he's not 100%. But he was good enough to play, and if he's good enough to play, he'll tough through it because that's who he is as a competitor, and that he trusts the team not to put him in harm's way. And I think the team, honestly, won't admit it, but they didn't want to play him. How could you not?
Yeah.
You got a flex game. You got Nance and Romo there. Ain't nobody show up to see Marcus Mariota.
Yep, no doubt. I mean, and what a message that this kid's sending to the fan base of the
That
committee.
just reminded me that I had Marcus Mariota started in a league and I didn't change him.
Whoops. All good. But yeah, I mean, the fan base just has to feel so good about this guy that they have leading their team now. I mean, he what he's done in a short stint is obviously unbelievable. But to play through those kind of injuries, to put yourself out there, for such a passionate fan base that's been so passionate for so long, it just seems like the perfect marriage with everything that's going on up there right now with the Commanders.
Yeah, it's almost too good to be true. But I mean, like I keep saying every week, we got to take it at face value. For the last 3 weeks, people have been saying that the defense is the weak point. The defense is beatable. The defense is this and that defense has done nothing but step up every single time they're needed. Yesterday's game was 100% the defense, and I'm going to talk about it today. For the Bears, they need to give their punter a little bit more money. That dude kept them in the game, man. He was booming kicks and pinning the Commanders, and it was helping them out so much. Like with their offense going stale and switching fields, like the game within the game yesterday was pretty solid. Obviously, you look at the score 18-15, and then the Hail Mary will take most of the storyline. But that was a good football game between two teams that's got rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah. No doubt. But yeah, and that's an underrated thing. People don't, the casual football fan, like, good punters make a huge difference because field position is such a chess match when it comes to NFL games. I mean, the Niners have certainly struggled with that. Mitch Wisnowski's net yards this year have not been very good. But, hey, we're still where we need to be, and we got a long way to go. Hopefully, when we head down to Tampa, which we're going to go down and check out that game, hopefully CMC makes his valiant return.
Yeah, and Kyle Shanahan learns how to call a game.
Jesus.
Like I could just flick his ear, man. He did 3 passes last night with like under 4 minutes. Did I see that right on the ticker? Because I was driving. The drive before the last one, it was like less than like 3 minutes on the clock by passing the ball.
Yeah, he did throw it a good bit towards the end of the game. I mean,
are we surprised?
Yeah, no. To be honest,
right?
if we would have lost that game last night, I would have probably not come in today.
I mean, it's one of those things. Go ahead, Alan.
No, like seriously, like when are you gonna learn? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Like OC as the it's like any time that Kyle Shanahan gets into a game that has implications with it. They look great for 3 quarters and 7 minutes.
Yep.
And then it's like in those final 7 minutes, it's like, what are you doing? I run a better game plan on Madden, my man.
Like somebody call the plays in the last 12 minutes of the game instead of him. It just make it a little different.
I've actually lobbied for somebody to cut his mic, man.
Yeah.
Like mess with his comms or something. Like how McVay has that guy that holds him back from going on.
Yeah, Shanahan needs a play caller cutter offer.
We need somebody to just smack his clipboard out of his hand. Take his play sheet with like 5 minutes left. Play sheet's gone. You lost it.
Yep. Absolutely. And to be honest, he's kind of fairly lucky that Brock Purdy's actually using his legs a little more this year to extend drives and get some first downs, because if he wasn't doing that last night, I think it would have been a little different scenario. Alan, we appreciate you giving us a shout.
Can I ask you a question real quick before you guys go? Because you guys are in the Gator area. Is there any talk of Kurt Signetti coming down there, replacing Billy Napier? Have you guys heard anything about that?
I haven't heard anything about that. I do think Sig's going to be on his way out of Indiana, but I think that it's going to I would say give him 3 years before he's out of there. Maybe 2.
Well, if that happens, let me know. We are Kurt Signetti experts here because he stiffed us on the interview when he took the Indiana job after saying that he was definitely staying at JMU. So I would have wonderful, nice things to say about him because he is a great coach. I know I'm not even being sarcastic. He's phenomenal. So if he comes down there, just let me know if you guys need any information on him.
There we go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Alan, we appreciate you, as we always do. Keep up the good work up there, and hopefully the Commanders can win that division because that's who I picked here on the Inside Drive.
All right, take care.
All right, Alan Sandage, he's the sports director up there at ESPN Richmond. Always a pleasure when he gives us a call. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Me and Dave will be back here in just a second to recap the NFL action from this past weekend.
The next evolution in sports talk radio. We're back! On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdog. The only live afternoon show in Panama City where you can win fantastic prizes from amazing local businesses every day.
That's right!
4 to 6 weekdays. The Afternoon Underdogs.
It's mayhem!
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Sunny the rest of the day with a gentle breeze out of the south-southeast around 8 miles per hour and temps near 81. Tonight we will have clear skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be cool at 66. Sunny tomorrow and a high 81 with a gentle breeze. Mostly sunshine Wednesday with a temp of 82. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Well, it's that time of the year again, folks. Yep, Christmas is right around the corner. And to avoid the stress and rush, Tracy's Fine Jewelry is starting our Christmas sale early. That's right, all color gemstone jewelry is on sale now for 60% off. Rubies, emeralds, sapphires, tanzanites, opals, and more. Mark it off your list and lay away now. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we love to save you time and money. So avoid the rush and come see us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where Santa shops.
For the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley.
This man is destroying golf.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
You may be right, but our ratings are up and we're attracting new youthful sponsors.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, and welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Obviously, we've talked about the Commanders game and that result, but there's a lot of other games that transpired this past weekend in the NFL, and we're about halfway through the season. 18 total weeks. Most teams are either had their bye or about to be in their bye as we approach Week 9 starting this Thursday. But we got one more game to finish Week 8, and that'll be tonight. That'll be the New York Giants traveling to play the 5-2 Russell Wilson-led Pittsburgh Steelers. But let's recap the games a little bit from this past weekend. Philadelphia Eagles 37-17. They're now 5-2. Jalen Hurts had a big game, not only in the air but on the ground as well. Makes a big difference when he has Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown back in that offense. Bengals.
Are we mad at Zach Taylor and the coaching staff here? Or?
Yes. Screw the Bengals coaching staff. They suck. I'm just kidding. But hey, they are getting themselves in a little tiny bit of a hole and haven't won a game at home yet. 3-5, and the division is slowly starting to get a little bit further away from them. Just crazy stuff from Cincinnati. You have everybody keeps saying that that Joe Burrow is in that upper echelon of quarterbacks. You know, the top tier of quarterbacks. He's the second best quarterback in the league. Why aren't they winning football games?
Oh, man,
gotta peel that onion back multiple times.
That's one of the onions that just makes you cry.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yeah. I wish I had an answer for that because as someone who was like, that was the game that I just kind of stayed away from betting wise because it was like, you don't know what's going to happen.
Really?
But I cannot imagine being a Bengals fan when you have all of that talent.
So much
T.
talent.
Higgins was out. Okay.
Yeah, but still.
We give you that.
Yeah.
I'm a Titans fan. I know we're garbage. I know when the team is minus 12 against us, like, all right.
Smash it.
Yeah. Smash it. But yeah, that's, I don't have a good answer for it.
I don't either.
I really don't because it's not like Joe Burrow looked bad. It was just the Eagles looked more like the Eagles than they have in a while.
Yep.
And they've got a really good, the Eagles have a really good makeup of players. And then you go from last week where Devontae Smith, I think it was his first game back, 0.8 points fantasy-wise to over 20 in this game. And it's like when they're firing on all of those cylinders, that's a team. Exactly. Especially when, look, they could have given the ball to Saquon Barkley to score so many touchdowns yesterday. But what do? As a team, and it was beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Tush push. Jalen Hurts goes into the end zone. What's he do? He gives the ball to Saquon Barkley, and Barkley spikes it.
Yep.
That's when you know, watch out. This team has got something going on.
I think the Sirianni talk is fading into the distance now. And I mean, Jalen Hurts and Barkley, Jalen Hurts is no slouch when it comes to running the football. I think he had at least one himself, obviously the tush push, but I know he had one around the outside as well. But Philadelphia 5-2, starting to roll, staying healthy obviously is a key for all NFL football teams. But when the Eagles are healthy, they've got just as many weapons as any team in the league. One of the more, I don't know if surprising is the right word, but Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns cooking.
Lost me a lot. Well, they didn't lose me money, but if the Ravens win, it's like, man, we're looking real good yesterday.
But Jameis, 27 of 41 for 334 and 3 touchdowns.
And what's the highlight of that stat line? No interceptions,
which is what everybody expected him to do.
Exactly. I mean, it just wow. Yeah. And the thing is what took so long? In fact, Browns, Ohio Brad, I think that you can agree with me on this. When you see what Jameis Winston brought to the table yesterday, now it's not necessarily like, I can't believe you guys went with Deshaun Watson for so long. No, we get that.
Yeah.
But the disrespect happened last week when Deshaun goes down and you bring in DTR.
Yep.
And that's no knock to DTR.
No.
We saw him in preseason last year where it was like, all right, this kid's got something special. So I could see where Stefanski and the Browns wanted to go in that direction. But the thing is as Jameis Winston gets older and the ultimate belief and the unwavering faith and just trusting in the Lord.
Yeah.
I don't see what's taking so long. I mean, honestly, if I'm the Tennessee Titans, I'm going after the guy that we should have drafted in the first place and going to getting Jameis Winston. But no, unbelievable performance. And for him to hang in the pocket, see, that's the thing is that wasn't no easy throw that he made to win that game yesterday.
No.
For him to hang in the pocket like that, it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty, and it's one of those, it's like we root for Joe Flacco. That's how I root for Jameis Winston, because it's like, man, you're such a great character. I want to see you have success here at the NFL level.
Yeah, and kudos to the Browns defense.
Yeah.
And it's funny to say, only holding Derrick Henry to only 73 yards on the ground, but Myles Garrett showing up with the Terminator outfit or Terminator Halloween costume in the tunnel looking like he's ready to go to battle. They stepped up when they needed to. Obviously, a lot of people had the Ravens winning this game. The Browns record 2-6, but despite being 2-6, I think have some upside to be a game wrecker for a lot of matchups they have coming up. But Ravens, obviously, it's the question, right? Are you going to, as you progress through the season, you make the playoffs, are you good enough is Lamar the guy that's going to play what he needs to do in these high-pressure situations and playoff games to make sure the Ravens have a shot at the Super Bowl? I guess time will tell on that one. But yeah, final score, 29-24. They did have a shot at the end of the game, but went incomplete there, and Lamar slammed his helmet in frustration after that final play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they could have had one of those, commander situations, but the difference is they were a lot closer in that situation.
30 yards or in something like that. I can't exactly remember.
It was like 25-yard line, yeah.
There you go. But as you already mentioned, the Detroit Lions rolled over the Tennessee Titans 52-14, but it wasn't on the heels of Jared Goff. It was on the heels of the run game.
80 yards?
Yeah, and that's the one bet I bet in that game was Jared Goff over, it was a low number. It was like 235 or 234, something like that. And he threw for, 88 yards or something like that. But, man, Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery running all over that football field. And, of course, Reynolds had a great kickoff return as well. Yeah. And that guy's got some speed, no doubt about it. But Lions,
six players to catch or to have a touchdown in that game, which is tied for the most in franchise history. I mean, I knew it was going to be a 4-touchdown win for the Lions. I mean, the Titans are abysmal, and it started out kind of back and forth a little bit, but it was
better
all
teams always start going in the right direction. Right. But yeah, Lions. Talk about the standings here briefly in a second. And then, of course, the Cardinals spoiled Tua Tagovailoa's return to the football field with Kyler Murray having a great game, 26-36 for 307 and 2 touchdowns. And I believe it was a game-winning walk-off field goal to win that one, 28-27. Achane had a great game. Mostert had a great game. Tua didn't have a bad game, but just a little bit not enough, and Cardinals walked that one off. I was really hoping the Dolphins would win that one because the Cardinals are now actually leading the division by a half a game, or by the tiebreaker because of the divisional record. But yeah, 28-27. Good to see Tua back out there. I didn't see a whole lot of that game, but I saw one time where he ran, and it was really nice to see him kind of slide a little bit early.
I know exactly the play you're talking about. I was like, way to go, bro. Way to slide. Yeah. I'm so proud of you
I know.
I really wanted to see him walk in with a Cleveland Guardians hat on, though.
Yeah, yes. I saw that meme. Yeah, he's like, I wear a Guardians cap, and he put a Cleveland cap on. Yeah, good stuff. Falcons Buccaneers game. Falcons go into Tampa Bay, and Kirk Cousins had a monster game. Of course, I left him in the bench on 2 leagues, and he threw for a bunch of touchdowns. But Baker, despite not having Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, still had a wonderful game, 37 of 50 for 330 and 3 tutties. But at the end of the day, the Falcons held off the comeback from the Browns late in the game. They won that one 31-26. Packers and the Jags. The Jags gave the Packers all they could ask for. Kind of held with them toe-to-toe throughout that game. Trevor Lawrence had a good game, but Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers ended up winning that one. Brandon McManus, a second week in a row with a game-winning field goal. Packers continue to win games very close, but it doesn't matter by how many points you win. It just matters that you get that win. The Houston Texans just got past the Indianapolis Colts 23-20. Texans, great football team, but I feel like they're playing with fire a little bit. C.J. Stroud obviously having a good year, not the same firepower as he had last year. Obviously, they lost Nico Collins. Stephon Diggs went down with a non-contract football injury yesterday. Tank Dell had a big game as well. But what do you think? And Pat McAfee called him out. It was just for a play or two, but Anthony Richardson ended up taking himself out of the game in the third quarter, and he said, "I was tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there. I didn't think I was going to be able to go that next play. So I just told Coach Shane I just needed a break right there." Have you ever heard of that? A quarterback being like, "Hey, take me out. I'm tired."
No.
Like, you're an NFL quarterback, bro. It's crazy. And Pat McAfee called him out during the game, basically said, "You're the face of the franchise. You can't be doing stuff like that. Like, why are you tired? Like, you're a finely tuned athletic machine," to quote the great Coach Klein.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't get that, but, he did that, so it is what it is. But if I'm the coach of the Colts, it's like, well, do we need to run a 2-quarterback system like on a though? Because you've been able to see that there should be a little bit of faith on the side of Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Right? So, Tough, especially if you're going to pull yourself out. It's one thing if I think this is the direction that we should go, but
yeah, you just don't hear players taking themselves.
No,
running
not
back
the
stuff like that.
Not the quarterback, right? Yeah. So tough situation there, and I would honestly, I would think, I would think about maybe using Flacco a little bit more.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But a couple more scores before we take our break. The Saints just in a world of trouble right now. 2-6 on the season. Can't do anything on offense. They turned to third-string quarterback Jake Haener when they were down 15-6 in that game, or 15-2, or 15-8 in that game. Excuse me. Trying to get a spark. Spencer Rattler wasn't hurt. I think Dennis Allen was just trying to get something going. Haener didn't play bad, but the Chargers just were able to continue to pour it on late in that game and ended up winning that one 26-8. If you had Ladd McConkey in fantasy, as you've heard that name from Keith Fleming a million times, he had a great game, 6 receptions, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns as well. I believe he had a good run as well. And then the Buffalo Bills, I would not want to be playing the Buffalo Bills right now. They are playing some great football in a very rainy...
Did Allen throw a pick yesterday?
No. Oh, yes, he did. He did throw a pick. It was a rainy game up there in Seattle. He still threw for 283. His passing yards prop was like 225, and I was like, why is that so low? I was like, yeah, because it's raining. But they still played a great game, beat the Seattle Seahawks 31-10. He was 34 of 24 for 283 and 2 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception in addition to that. James Cook continues to play great football, 17 carries, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. We go ahead and take a quick break. We'll recap the rest of the games and then preview Monday Night Football coming up tonight. You're listening to The Inside Drive. Ryan and David Hayes hanging out on this beautiful Monday.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
All roads lead to adventures and a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Get ready to forge a new path in 2025 and discover our new Kia SUV family. Bill Bird Kia is now offering 1.90% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. It's the best family SUV with third-row seating space for the entire family to unwind. Bill Bird Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento with $21.65 per month for 1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 10/31/24.
Looking for a fast and convenient blood draw? Come to Panhandle CPR, 97 Oak Avenue in downtown Panama City. We partner with all local and national labs to get you quick, accurate results. No insurance? No problem. We offer affordable self-pay options so you can stay on top of your health. And for added convenience, we'll even come to you at your home or workplace. Call us at 850-381-4288 or visit panhandlecpr.com. Panhandle CPR, keeping our community healthy and safe every day.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Have a quick stretch first.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
Must have pulled something playing hoops last week.
And Jay Henley.
I know you're not putting that rock up from here. You ain't got no Jay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back. Final segment on this beautiful Monday, recapping the NFL scores from this past weekend. Moving right along to the Panthers and the Broncos. No surprise that the Panthers lost that one, but Bo Nix seems to keep...
You wasn't surprised? No. I thought it was a little bit of an Alabama-Auburn, rivalry game right there. You know, Bo Nix back in the day. And I really did think that them Carolina Panthers, led by Dave Canales, was going to find them ways to be like Dallas back in the days of the early 1990s,
long
but
time
it
ago.
did not go that direction.
It did not. And believe it or not, Bo Nix seems to be getting better each week.
Overreaction or reality?
Oh, I'm going to say reality. I think he's got a good head coach that's working on putting him in the positions, and it's his first year in the NFL. It takes time to catch up to the speed and all that stuff, but he turned in a career day for him in his young career, no doubt, to beat the lowly Carolina Panthers 28-14. That is their second consecutive win, and they're moving in the right direction, no doubt. Currently a playoff team, but they won that one, like I said, 28-14. Bo Nix had a good game in that one. He 28 of 37 for 284 and 3 touchdowns. Seems like the chemistry is starting to develop a little bit with him and his wide receivers. Cortland Sutton finally had the game that everybody on fantasy was, especially that kid that we played the clip last Friday. It was very sad about Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton sucks.
Yeah, well, he had 8 receptions for 100 yards.
Yeah, no, where did that come from?
Yeah, no doubt. And, hey, They might be. No, they're not going to. But hey, maybe they will. Maybe they'll give the Chiefs a run for their money in a couple games. We'll find out.
There we go.
Speaking of those Chiefs, they find a way to get it done again. I thought at one point that the Raiders might win that game. I had a in game 3 with the Chiefs. The Chiefs to win. The Chiefs -6.5 and going over 24.5 as well. So I was actually happy to see the Chiefs get that final touchdown to Xavier Worthy. But Travis Kelce, who would have thought that Week 8 would have been the first week he caught a touchdown pass,
right?
And that is it. He went 10 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. I didn't even get into National Tight Ends Day, National Tight Ends Day yesterday.
There was like a large amount of money that was made on tight ends yesterday.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we've been talking about is the fact that tight ends have really not been going off yet this year. But yesterday, for National Tight Ends Day, I believe they had 177 receptions, which was a record for tight ends on one single day of games. But the Chiefs beat the Raiders there in Allegiant Stadium 27-20. I believe Kansas City is now 6-0 in Allegiant Stadium, including obviously the Super Bowl last year. Then you had the Bears and Commanders. We talked about that game at length. We also talked about the Niners-Cowboys. That was Sunday Night Football. Niners 30-24 in that one. Brock Purdy was 18-26 for 260 and a touchdown. That rushing prop, that I think was 18.5. That was another one that seemed like easy
for Brock Purdy.
Yeah. The over on that one.
I had Deebo Samuel -11.5, but I was messing around with just like some simple parlays. Yeah. One of those was Ricky Pearsall over 38.5 receiving, and I don't think that he reached that goal late in the game.
He's 38.
38. So he was a half yard short. I love losing by a half yard.
He had 39 yards rushing on one carry, and that was late in the game. Yeah. Yep. It's amazing how close they can get on this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
It really is. It makes it fun, though.
It does. It certainly does make it fun. But yeah, San Francisco 49ers got the dub in that one. George Kittle joined some elite company there with the Niners as well, as he recorded his 500th catch as a San Francisco 49er, which puts him, I believe, in the top 5 all time behind some pretty big names like Terrell Owens, Jerry Rice, Dwight Clark. I don't know the other ones because I don't have the exact stat, but he is now 3rd in all-time receiving yards in San Francisco 49ers history. He's got 6,777 yards. Terrell Owens has 8,572. And the name and number that will never be caught, that is Jerry Rice with 19,247 receiving yards. Still leads the NFL, I believe, in all-time receiving yards by quite
I don't think anyone's ever going to be touching that.
It's kind of like the Wayne Gretzky, not goals, but total points record. Although Ovi's
coming close.
He's under, I think he's either at 40 or under 40 now on breaking Wayne Gretzky's goal record, which is I'm rooting for that.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know if I am or not. I do know this though. I don't know if there's been another player in my lifetime of watching sports while they're live, not going back and watching YouTube or anything, that has become gray.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like playing until they're like completely gray.
Yeah.
And that is That's wild. I'm trying to think of like other players who, like Chase Utley. I think I remember him when he was dark-haired and then like ended up great. But Ovi stands out more than any other.
No doubt. But he's been playing for a long time. That is for sure. But yeah, I found the article. Getting back to National Tight End Day. It was basically created by George Kittle. It was the initial one was in 2018. The fourth weekend of October has become the day of celebration for fans. It all started in week 2 of that year when former San Francisco 49ers tight end Garrett Selleck caught an 11-yard touchdown pass from then 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo against the Lions, dragging 2 defenders with him into the end zone. We were on the sidelines. Former Niners tight end Garrett Selleck scored when Jimmy Garoppolo asked, "What is it like, National Tight End Day?" George Kittle recalled, he's like, "Yeah, it's National Tight Ends Day. It's a holiday. Tight ends all over the league are scoring," and that's basically how National Tight Ends game came to be. So they just rolled with it. This past Sunday, tight ends represented their position by finding the end zone early and often. So far, tight ends have racked up 17 touchdowns, which is the most in a single week this season. The record since 2000 in a single week is 22 touchdowns, set in week 1 of the 2015 season. They also caught 177 passes yesterday, which is the most in a single day in the Super Bowl era. George Kittle had a touchdown. Travis Kelce had a touchdown. We already talked about that one. You also had tight ends in Denver making touchdown catches. Adam Troutman had a touchdown as well for Denver, 2 of those. Brock Bowers had a great game. Another
that's part of the script.
Yeah, maybe. If there is one.
I mean, put that old tinfoil hat on.
It's
real
on
quick.
a lot. It's not on right now, but it is certainly on a lot. All right, David. We got Monday Night Football. One of the teams, or actually here, real quick before we dive into Monday Night Football, your current playoff standings, obviously way too early playoff standings. NFC, number 1 seed right now, the Detroit Lions, 6-1. Number 2 seed right now, the Washington Commanders, 6-2. Falcons, number 3 seed, after that big win over Tampa Bay yesterday, they're 5-3 on the season. The Cardinals, currently the number 4 seed, because they are leading the NFC West with a 4-4 record. The Packers, the number 5 seed with a 6-2 record, might be the NFC's second best team. The Vikings, 6th in the seeding right now with a 5-2 record, and the Philadelphia Eagles, that last and 7th spot with a 5-2 record already. NFC looking pretty strong. 5-3 is your second worst besides the Cardinals. Everybody else is either has 2 losses or just 1 loss there in the NFC. On the AFC side of things, you got the Chiefs, number 1 seed. Obviously, they have not lost a football game yet, 7-0. Texans 6-2, obviously great record, leading their division. I still feel like Texans are playing with fire a little bit. They're playing good football, but are they playing good enough football to win some games in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who they're going up against, but I will say also that the Colts are a better team than what people give them credit for,
Agreed.
So I think that was a nice win yesterday for the Texans.
And how big has Joe Mixon been for the Houston Texans?
Especially when healthy,
just killing it. The Bills also 6-2. They're the 3 seed right now. They pretty much got that division locked up, as I believe the other teams in that division, let's see, are 2-5, 2-6, and 2-6. They would have to have an epic collapse in order to miss the playoffs at this point, being 6-2, and the Dolphins, the Pats, and the Jets all only having 2 victories. And then you've also got in the AFC side of things, the Steelers 5-2, as they are leading their division, got that number 4 seed. The Broncos with the number 5 seed. Maybe the biggest surprise in the AFC right now, but maybe a testament to Sean Payton and his coaching abilities. The Ravens got the 6th seed right now. They are 5-3. And then the Chargers, with that win yesterday over the Saints, have the 7th seed currently locked up with a 4-3 record. Speaking of those Pittsburgh Steelers, Monday Night Football coming up tonight in Pittsburgh. 17. Is that one right here? Yeah, that one's right here on ESPN.
6:30 coverage starts for a 7:15 kick.
Really looking forward to seeing if the Giants remember how to play football or not. Pittsburgh Steelers, Russell Wilson getting the start again. Pittsburgh is a 6-point favorite right now at home. That total is 36.5. I wonder what the Giants' point total is. It's probably something pretty low, but
the Giants' point total just by themselves?
Yeah. because I was thinking about the under on that one. I'll pull it up. I know you're working on something.
No, I'm working. I'm right here on it right now.
There you go.
I mean, I think it starts at 30 and a. Well, that's just total points.
Yeah, Giants point total looks
13
like
13 and a half is where it starts.
Yep. 14 and a half is minus 110. Whew. Are they going to score
15 and a half? I like 15 and a half for plus 100.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always fun.
Are they going to score 2 touchdowns?
How about I just throw 100 on it right now, live on the air?
Do it.
No,
I'm scared.
I am scared of that.
I would be.
I do like
the Giants could surprise and score a defensive touchdown and a deep ball.
I like the over in this game, though.
Yeah, 36 and a half is a low total. I mean, Pittsburgh could get that on their own.
I like it to be 30 to 14. I like the Steelers to score 30 points in this game.
Yeah, well, 22 and a half is plus 110 for the Steelers total points.
Let's see what a little fun same game parlay. Steelers minus 6, over 36 and a half, minus 275. You throw $10 on that, and that'll win you $32. Not enough fun for me.
Yeah, minus 275. That's just you gotta have a little more value than that. Minus 115.
Need some more skin in the game.
Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Yes. Quick shout out, Keith Dimmick. He won his golf tournament. He got first place, another gold medal. That guy hangs more banners and trophies than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Keith. Good job. Keep it up, my friend. You're doing some good things there in the Special Olympics sports categories. But did you get one? I like going over, and I like going over 22 and a half for the Steelers, and I like under 15. Go ahead.
Well, so you like the under in this game?
No. I like Giants with the under, but
Okay.
I like the Steelers probably scoring 31, something like that, and the Giants maybe scoring 10. Okay. So I like the Steelers going over their point total at 22 and a half for plus 100. I like the over at 36 and a half, and I like the under on the Giants regular point total. I always get nervous with unders though, because you don't want to root for
I got a story for that one.
All right.
So not only
We've got 2 minutes for you to tell the story.
So not only did I just crush my team this week, my team helped me win a lot of money.
Sometimes that's good.
But so I put a 2-leg parlay in for unders, which was Oregon and Illinois. It was at 62 and a half. So I was like, boom, take that. And then parlayed that with Alabama under 36 and a half. And it's 34-0. And number 9 takes a run all the way down the field. I'm like, oh my gosh. They're about to score in the waning moments. I'm like, if this was Nick Saban, I already know we would be kneeling the ball. It would be over. And we just keep on running the ball. And then luckily we get the first down. There's under 40 seconds and we don't run a play. So... so the unders are, I feel
unders
like,
are tougher
more of a
to
sweaty
sweat,
Betty than those overs are sometimes.
It's easier to root for points to be scored than it is, or will points to be scored than it is for points not to be scored, because you never know what's going to happen. That's for sure. But yeah, Alabama, man, they look good against Missouri. Missouri started out like a ball of fire, and now they've started to fade back a little bit.
I was wondering about that game, but then Alabama kind of hit that second breath of fresh air, if you will. Yeah. But that's not one that says, "Hey, look, Alabama needs to be in the playoffs." I think you got to do that for a couple weeks in a row. You already showed us for 3 weeks in a row that you can be mediocre or less. So let's see what you got here in the near future.
Yeah, no doubt. I believe Jalen Milroe, the first player in Alabama history for 25 passing and rushing touchdowns.
Oh.
We appreciate y'all hanging out with us today on the Inside Drive. Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4 p.m. We'll be back tomorrow at 11. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Coming up tonight on Monday Night Football. Pickens is there, makes the catch, touchdown Steelers. The New York Giants are at the resurging Pittsburgh Steelers, who have won 3